just what the internet needs, another person talking about film photography. My name's Andrew Berrickdale, aka Kodak Took My Money. And if this is the first video of mine that you've watched, you're guaranteed to be in for a series of catastrophes as I make my maiden voyage through the world of analog photography reviews. And in this week's video, I'll be testing out Ilfocolor 400, which is Ilford's new 35mm black and white. It's not black and white. Ilford's new 35mm colour film, Ilfocolor 400. So what exactly is vintage tone? I've no idea. I'm assuming that it's going to be a little grainy, funky colours, and maybe an overinflated price when you could probably get very similar results from shooting some expired film. So what's the best way to test out a film stock that claims vintage tone? It's obviously to exploit the film cliche that is shooting vintage cars. And that's exactly what I did, wandering and cycling around the streets of Copenhagen. Okay, so first off, I'm enjoying how the blue tones of the car blend with the blue sky. It's a very simple colour palette. You'll see that there's something a little bit funky happening, but we will get to that later on. It is bright today, so I'm going to make a short detour to go and pick up a step-up filter so that I can use a variable ND or a polarizer, which might actually be quite useful with the classic cars. But I also know that there's an old Volvo on this route that I'll grab a quick shot of that's usually parked up in the garage. We actually have a really interesting car over here. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it actually. It looks like they have a ticket, but I think they probably don't really care, to be honest. Maybe find the owner of the car, see if they'd be willing to just shunt it over a little bit into that lovely beam of light over there. But I doubt it. Let's see. Dimbiel? No?
I don't know him at all.
Yes, that's exactly what I would say if I was parked illegally. So, okay, just had a little lunch break and I'm back on the road again. That actually makes it sound much grander than it really is. But half the problem is finding the cars. The other half of the problem is getting half decent light, which is kind of interesting here. But without there being so much clutter around, be it other cars, street signs, building work happening. Anyway, the idea isn't really to take great photos, just to take photos with this film stock. Yeah, of course, it's a good idea to caveat that you weren't intending to take good photos. Try and get a photo of this old Volvo here. So getting to the end of the roll now, the sun was low, shadows are in the right direction. You'll notice that the soft top has been folded down and there's this really nice bouquet of flowers on the back seat. Now, I previously lived in London. Let me tell you, if you left your flowers in the back of an open car, I can pretty much guarantee that flowers would be stolen by the time you got back, along with the car. I actually quite like this shot and some really nice reflections on the car boot here. So my plan is to continue photographing vintage cars tomorrow, but I think as it's such a beautiful evening, we should get a few more shots of Copenhagen and just take a little walk around and enjoy the rest of the light. So I got home a few hours ago and I noticed that my scans have just arrived in my inbox, which is fantastic as I only dropped the film off this afternoon. So first thing I noticed was that this camera is light leaking like crazy. So I'm going to just do a makeshift job with this, and I thought this is quite a useful thing for you to know about if you're ever in a situation. This is ProGaff, and basically it is black tape. There's two kinds: a paper-based tape, and something that's more like cloth. The difference is paper. You can hear that stickiness there. Excellent. And just go around any part of the back that opens up. I'm pretty sure that the leak is coming from here, but I'm going to cover the whole thing anyway. And it doesn't look great, but at least it stops people wanting to steal your camera, so that's another bonus. If you'd like to take more time to look over these photos, I'll post them on my Instagram account at Kodak Took My Money. So I've continued to cycle out of the city and I'm pretty much by the coast now. Fun fact, you're never actually more than 40 kilometers away from open sea anywhere in the country in Denmark. But I've come to this place because last summer there were two old whitey beige Volvos parked up, and this one's still here. And it just seems like a really nice place to end a 2-day mission across Copenhagen. The sun's setting, I might even go for a swim after, so try and grab this shot. Oh fuck, just too hard on that one. Okay, conclusion time. What do I think about this film? It's okay. Would I buy it again? Probably not. I guess if you're looking to create an old film vibe and you don't have any expired film, go ahead, buy some. In fairness, where it really shines is certain saturated colors, particularly reds. Who makes this film? Well, it's probably not Ilford. And when I say probably, I mean it's definitely not Ilford. The box itself says that the film is made in the EU and packaged in China. Now, Ilford is based in the UK, which is not the EU, and they could easily package this film in the UK too, so they're out. What I can say is that it looks very similar to what I've seen of Lomography 92, the new Lomography colour, which is also described, wow, that rain is really coming down now, 1 second. And they also look remarkably similar to a film by Oro. So yeah, let me know what you think of the photos, if you have any comments. If you don't like them, keep that to yourself, obviously. What else? And I will see you next time on Kodak Took My Money.